Hi, and welcome to Vibin with, brought to you by Puzzles of Color, a series where we speak with the artists behind our jigsaw puzzles. I'm your host, Erica Chambers.
And I'm William Jones. Each episode, we will speak with different artists and find out more about them as creative people, their creative process, and the music that inspires them. So please join us as we vibe with our artists.
Hello, Marcene. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
We're excited as well. So excited to get a little bit of taste of Hawaii.
Yes. Even with the sweater on.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Unusual weather pattern right now we're having at this
Wishing
moment.
we were in the warmth of Hawaii. I know it's cold, but cold, warmer than where we are.
Yes.
So super excited to have you. You have this lovely piece called Summertime Collards, which we appropriately released in the winter.
It'll be something that we can look forward to.
Yes. But you know what? We released it in time for New Year's. So hopefully everybody had their greens for New Year.
Yes.
And I literally, it's so funny because I went to the grocery store on New Year's Eve because, last minute, and like the collard section was completely empty. Like I was like, okay, we're gonna have to make this work with some mustard greens and some turnips.
Yeah.
And see if we could, but it was delicious. I was sad that we didn't have the collards.
As long as you have the ham hock and the cornbread, then usually it's all good. So
exactly,
those are the basics. So
Black eyed peas, good.
Yes.
Yeah. And look, and if you didn't eat didn't eat the greens, then as long as you did the puzzle on New Year's Day, then you should have good luck.
Hey.
Kind of counts still. We'll take it. That was kind of how we actually rolled too. My son, we got the puzzle right before Christmas, and my son, he's 8, he opened it up and he just charged, and I was like, let him just do it. And then he taught me, he's like, this is how you do it, Mom. Like, you got to look for this texture and everything. It was really cool.
I love it.
I know, it was like a little happy moment for he and I, so it was cool. So.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was definitely really cool. Good for full circle moment. So
yeah. We like to start all of our interviews or new pieces starting with a lightning round. So William, take it away.
Yeah, so it's a quick lightning round. Just answer off the top of your head. Just 5 questions. No pressure on them. So, all right, ready?
All right, I'll do my best.
All right, what's your favorite color?
Magenta.
Okay, cool. Good choice. What's your favorite medium?
Acrylic paint.
I think you've heard that one a lot, actually, so that makes sense. When's your most creative time of day?
Ooh, kind of like afternoon, like after lunch is when I like to do it. I homeschool, so it's nice to take care of the business and then have like a little bit of flex time before dinner and everything. So
very cool.
When they're sleeping, when they're busy.
Yeah, when their needs are taken care of.
Yeah. Same.
If you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Ooh, the first person that came to mind would be Maya Angelou. It's funny because when I was reading some of the potential questions, I thought of her, even though I know her medium was writing, right? But she was such a great poet. She was just such a phenomenal writer that I always had visuals to go with it. And so painting just kind of seemed to kind of relate to her as well. So I'd definitely love to do that, meet her. So
awesome.
I love that.
Yeah. And that leads us to our last question. Who is your dream artist to collaborate with?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's someone that actually is recently deceased. And I learned a lot watching her during, she has done artist tutorials on YouTube. Her name's Art Sherpa. That's her like stage name, but her name's Cinnamon Cooney. She just passed away this past December, but just really great energy, really bright colors, kind of the same headspace and style that I already do. And just the fact that she was willing to teach people for free, like how to paint and just integrated it more as like a therapeutic thing. So yeah, it'd be really awesome to paint with her. So one day in heaven, that'd be cool.
Love that. Yeah. All right, and that's it. That's the lightning round.
You survived the lightning round.
I was like, can we have 5 more? Like,
It
I
could
know.
be one
It's
question.
our first time doing it like this season, so it's like we didn't know if we should do like a lot of questions or a little bit of questions, but it's been fun. I'm like, oh, it goes by too quick. We gotta add some more questions. So
yeah, that was cool. I liked that.
So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself? How did you get into art? Where are you from? All the things we want to know you.
Okay, so raised in Stockton, California, so Northern California girl. Moved to Hawaii for undergrad and just stayed out here, met my husband out here, settled. I started painting probably in high school, and I was actually trying to remember how I got my first supplies. I think I had them gifted during Christmas at one point and just kind of played around with them, didn't really think too much about it. Got kind of frustrated because I didn't really know how to utilize acrylic and do blending and some of the techniques and stuff. So I put him on pause, had my kids, started teaching. And then I actually, like, my soul was like, you need to paint. Like, you need to go back to making some art. So I got the opportunity during COVID because my kids were home. Things kind of slowed down a lot. And then I started finding more time and space to paint. And since then, I've just wanted to paint every day. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm headed.
I love that. It's such a great journey. And I think COVID was a great time for people to discover their passions. Like I know for us, like we always had done puzzles, since we were young, but
Mhm.
actually, getting back into them and actually we started the company during COVID. And
Yeah.
so it was a great time for people to like really stop and think about what's important and think about, what makes them happy during a time which was quite stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's great to hear how that manifested for different people.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And so, what made you? I mean, obviously, you met your husband in Hawaii, but is that the only reason you stayed and instead of going back to the stateside or to what mainland? I guess.
Well, Stockton, if anybody is familiar, it's like in the
Okay.
Central
Yeah.
Valley, San Joaquin Valley, like kind of has like that Bakersfield, Sacramento vibe. So there's really not a lot going on there.
Hmm.
So, moving to Hawaii, I really got to kind of tap more into nature than I had on the mainland. And so I did actually want to stay here even before I met my husband. I wasn't sure for how long. We still might move at some point. We might even just relocate again within the state of Hawaii. Yeah, being able to go to the beach, on a slightly routine basis is really fun. It's actually harder than it seems. Everybody's like, "Don't you go every day?" And it's like, "No, I've got kids and we've got bills and it's just that's not how it happens." And ideally it'd be like that, but it's just nice to have that. There's a lot of hiking that you can do out here and it's just really cool. We've got pigs in our yard that come through and
Oh wow.
chickens, and so I love the vibe. So yeah.
I am a little bit jealous that it didn't occur to me to like even think about like not studying abroad, but like going to college outside of my state. Like I did think of some places, but in the end I was like, in-state tuition, so much cheaper. I'm staying here. But if I had thought about like Hawaii, like that's so much cool. Like that's an experience. Like just, I mean, even if it is just for college, like that's a great I'm like, they probably have a lot of applicants to go there because I mean
I
it's
was gonna
beautiful.
ask, is it
Yeah,
hard to get in?
I think more and more back when I started it wasn't too hard to get in, and actually the in-state tuition in California was the same as moving all the way out here and paying out-of-state tuition. So my mom was like, "Why don't you just go and try it?" And I was like, "I don't know, I guess." But I was like kind of like acting like a baby about it because I wanted to go to UC Santa Cruz, but it's like now we've
Uh,
got warm water and I mean I can't, I really can't complain. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean the
yeah,
tuition thing, there's nothing stopping you from going to Hawaii. That's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 Wow.
So did it as like a leap of faith, and then God just kind of kept me here. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine. Like, I've never actually been to Hawaii. I've been to like a different islands, but I've never been to Hawaii. Mostly because the flight is so long.
How long is the flight?
It's and I'm not gonna say 12 hours. It's not 12 hours, but
Well,
it is a
how
long
about?
flight.
It is
To
from California out here. It's about 6 hours. So
Yeah.
you're
That's
committed.
not too
So it's
bad.
like 10 because you have to fly to California and then fly there. So it's like 10
Oh, you
hours.
can't fly from Texas to
I
Hawaii?
think you can, but it's still a really, really long flight.
Yeah, it's probably going to be
Hmm.
pretty long. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm
Six
game.
hours. We flew to China, so that was like damn near
Oh,
24 hours, so or at least 12 hours in the
Yeah.
air. Some crazy.
Yeah.
So 6 hours is not too bad. You know,
Ugh,
I could do that.
you just gotta, you just buckle up. You're gonna be
Yeah.
there for a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're ready. You have some good food, some entertainment, and
Hmm.
it's not that bad. And most of the time, we just sleep like through a
Lots of
good portion of it.
movies.
That's
Yeah.
what I
So,
did. I love it. Yeah, I watched about 2 or 3 movies when I was
mhm,
doing on those trips. So yeah, it's
nice.
easy. Another question. So about like Hawaii, how is it? Like I'm probably gonna be a lot of Hawaii questions. I just want to know more because we ain't got to
What's it like?
never got to. Yeah, what's it like to live in Hawaii? How is it like the university versus like the city side, I guess, or whatever the case may be?
So I was on Oahu, which is like the busier one that has Honolulu, Waikiki, and I actually got to dorm about 2 blocks from the beach. So that was a season in my life where I could go almost every day. So that was really cool. It certain spots are really urbanized and you would just feel like you're on the mainland, like in all honesty, like pretty comparable, but it's more when you kind of get outside of like the busy cities where it feels more country, it feels more rural, you feel like you're living in like a forest. Like that's kind of where we're at right now. So we've got the wild pigs that roam through, and like I said, like the chickens and stuff. So it's really cool. We do still have like some areas that have like more gravel roads on Big Island, but there's a lot of like development and it's starting to grow. But again, it's more centralized, so certain areas are really developed, and then as you kind of move away from like those main hubs, those main cities, it starts to get more kind of country. That's like the best way to describe it. So
When you talk about the pigs running through your yard, I'm just picturing Moana, like the little, the little, hey,
Yeah.
hey, and
they're like boars, like they're like these, like, what is that? Oh my gosh. Like, and some of them are cute, like the babies, like the moms with the babies are really adorable and stuff, but they dig up the yard and they're kind of a pest. We don't have a fence around our property at the moment, so it's kind of like a tug and war with like planting something, then they'll go and they'll dig it up and to get the worms
Yeah.
and
gosh,
stuff. And
Yep.
so that's kind of a
yeah,
pain. But it's also one of those like, but there are pigs that are in our yard. So it's cool. And the kids get excited about it.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a really cool life experience. So
That sounds
Yeah.
like me and rabbits. We have so many rabbits in our yard, and I'm like, look at the cute little rabbits. And my husband's like, they have so many holes in our yard. I'm like, oh, they're cute.
that's
So look at the bunny.
And,
exactly.
at our grandma's house in Oklahoma City, they have peacocks that roam their
Oh,
yard and their area.
cool.
So you
Yeah,
catch them in the backyard a lot. You hear them outside just yelling.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. They're beautiful, but they're nobody realizes how like loud they are.
Yeah, they're just loud. But they're really pretty and they
Nice.
don't do anything. They're not dangerous or anything, so that's really good. I haven't seen
Nice.
anybody ever get attacked by them. So
No
that's cool.
TikTok videos being attacked by like a peacock or anything.
Right.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, they're big and it's cool.
Yeah, it's so funny. I went to a petting zoo with my daughter. Like this is now at this point a couple of years ago. I need to go back, but um, but there was like they had one pig on in the whole thing, or maybe like one giant one and then some like babies or whatever. And that pig would just like he just kept running into me and like pushing me, and I was like that. It never occurred to me that their little snout is like really hard. And I was like, this, it hurts. Like, why are you doing it? Like, I was like, how do we get this thing away from me?
That's
Oh my
hilarious.
gosh. How
They were
cute.
like, yeah, he could be a little grumpy sometimes. Like, yeah, I can
Just a
get the
bit.
pig.
Doesn't like you. That's too funny.
Yeah, they're pretty wild out here. So we'll see them like all along the highway and everything.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're pretty predominant out here, and people do hunt them, but they're
Yeah.
just all over on Big Islands.
You have to be careful because like they're so low to the ground. Like like if you hit, as far as like driving, like, you have to be careful not to hit them. And
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we've seen roadkill of pigs and stuff, but it's also really dangerous because some of them are really big, and people, if they hesitate, it's like you could total your car, in
yeah,
that case.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so I just try. I'm like, let me just be extra cautious,
yeah.
So
Hmm.
yep,
So you said you started painting in high school, so it's not like so it wasn't something that you just discovered when you were in Hawaii, but
yeah.
how so were you doing it like on your own? Did you have like classes and stuff when you were in high school? Like how did that transition into where you are now?
Well, I did have, and I had to like actually think about it. I did have one art class in high school, and we just tried different mediums, and the teacher was just always supportive. I never really liked anything that I made though at the time. And I really tried to do more of like the abstract, like, let me just paint and see what comes. But it didn't really feel very grounding. So I don't know, I just kind of got out of it, and it felt like such a commitment too, to like spend all that time and then not be happy with a piece at the end. So I just kind of kept this seed in my heart and my mind that like, okay, I know I like working with acrylic. I know I want to get back into it eventually, but you know, two toddlers, babies, and a full-time job, it was just not conducive at the time to try to even paint. I was working full time as a public school teacher at a Title I school. And so there was just a lot that I would have to just carry, even coming back from home, just trying to unfold all of that and then be present for my kids. So I just didn't have the time. So it was just kind of in the back of my mind, like, all right, I know I want to do this. It's fun. I do remember in undergrad, me and my friends, we painted a couple times, but again, just still feeling frustrated with like my skill set. And during COVID, I got to watch this artist, her tutorial videos, and learn some more skills. And I got more comfortable and had more mental and emotional time to really enjoy the process versus just trying to get it done or just trying to put it out there. So yeah, it's been kind of a journey. It's definitely been a journey.
Yeah, I love that. I know like YouTube was taught me a lot of things, even in the design side. We've done some. Me and my wife Amy, we did a like a painting class. When during
Oh,
COVID,
cool.
we
Yeah.
would do we created a painting together based off a YouTube person kind of doing a tutorial for us. It was really cool. It was really a fun little date night idea, and it helped us to you know get a cool painting on our house.
Yeah, exactly. And it's yours, you know, it has more meaning to yourself too when you paint it. So yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Yeah.
And then
Definitely.
congratulations, by the way. I saw your little post and I was like, oh, yay, they have one coming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Next, it'll be on the 16th of January, so it's around the corner.
Literally next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did
Homeschooling.
mention that you were a teacher before. What did you teach?
I taught seventh grade science.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
from science to art, what are the kind of similarities, or what are kind of, what's the overlap, if any?
That's a really good question. And I think that actually kind of drives like kind of my artist like message. But I've always found like connection with spirituality, with God and nature. And so I kind of, I guess, like more of like my, what is it, left side part of my brain, the more logical side, would kind of look more into like the connections within nature and just naturally seeing like the beauty, but also the complexity and how things are like interconnected. So I got really like, I get nerdy about stuff like that. That's what I call it. But just food webs, things like that. And then there's another part of me too, though, that realizes we kind of take nature for granted, you know, like birds in particular. I'm a really big bird painter. They're always around. And we just, as humans, just kind of like, oh, yeah, they're there and they're there. Some of them are pretty to look at, some of them are just kind of boring. But really just trying to kind of fuse, I guess, the two together of seeing God in nature, of feeling like we're actually a part of nature more than separate from it. So that kind of got me into like wanting to teach kids science. I did in undergrad, I worked at an aquarium and I got to do the touch tank where I would put like little hermit crabs in people's hands, and the kids would like freak out or get really excited. Even the adults would be like nervous. But when I could get them to kind of relax and unfold and they started to enjoy the process of feeling connected to nature, it was just really beautiful. But it's also something that you can't really show through like paper and like writing. So it's like, well, how can I convey that same message? And so again, it kind of got me back into more of like the painting of like, okay, now I need to like put some of this out there. So yeah, through that medium.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and then being in Hawaii, you're in such a beautiful place where a lot of the nature is preserved, as opposed to like us in our suburb living, where the nature, you have to go to the nature because it's
Mm-hmm.
very much just buildings and and cars and all that kind of stuff. So you really get to fully immerse yourself in it, which is
Mm-hmm.
fantastic.
Yeah, but even your bunnies, I mean, like that would be like a great painting too, of just like a backyard with a bunch of holes and a bunch of little cute bunnies, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's one of those like, I think for me, it's like shifting that mindset of like, we are really a part of nature and nature's more around us than we even realize. And I think we just kind of forget. We just kind of don't, if we're not looking at it and thinking about it, we kind of just forget it. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We actually moved last year, and our old house we had no trees.
Oh, wow.
And well, we had one pine tree, but it was like way far in the back of the yard, and no other trees. And this house we actually have like four trees in the backyard, and it's nice because I'm like, oh, like birds fly through the yard, like little, and like
Mhm.
some of them are really beautiful, and we had a nest in the yard at one point last year, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like it's really cool to witness these things that I didn't really have the opportunity to because we had no place for the land, I guess, before.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's especially with little kids. I feel like they're a
I was
lot
just
more
thinking
observant.
that.
They're not so busy, and they're not thinking about bills and all that stuff. So they
Mhm.
they'll point out to me all kinds of things that they see in the yard. And I'm like, oh, that is really pretty. That is really
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we kind of spoke about it already, kind of like what kind of like how your place looks like when you're painting. But can you describe like more about that and what kind of inspires you to create when you are trying to come up with something creative to do?
It's a mix of things, especially lately. Like I'm starting to tap a little bit more into politics and a little bit more into like religion. So it might be like from personal experience of things that I see and feel, but I don't feel are necessarily being represented, or at least I haven't seen them in art. So I'll try to create things like that. Nature itself, like sometimes I'll think like that bird's really pretty, like I wonder what I could combine with it. It's usually like a bird and a plant. Like that's kind of like my go-to. We are a really big beach family, so it's funny that I don't do a lot of more of like underwater scenes. So I'm kind of leaning a little bit more into that this year as well. But yeah, just ultimately being in nature and just being inspired with the natural world, with just God's creation of the beauty that's really around us all the time. We don't have to create it, always. Sometimes we just need to take time to slow down and ponder it. So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I know you're super busy with being a teaching, a stay at home homeschool teacher. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
How often are you getting to actually paint?
Oh, getting to and feeling that like I have the emotional capacity is still an issue with kids.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I gotta cook tonight. But I'm trying to get to a place where my husband and I are like kind of juggling a little bit better together. So some nights he'll cook and I'll have more space to create if I want to. And now this year I'm actually trying to discipline myself to do it on a more routine basis. um, with like doing the tutorials online, my pace has gotten a lot faster, which is really nice. So I don't really panic about how long it's going to take me, but I also don't typically put a time frame. So I don't tell myself that like, oh, I'm painting this piece, I have to finish it within like 2 weeks or a month. A lot of time I have multiple pieces started just because I might want to think more about, how I'm going to like do this and whether it's a skill or something like that. So ideally, it would be like every day creating in some way, shape, or form. But reality, it's maybe like 3, 4 times a week, maybe 5 on a good week. But yeah.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
Consider
Yeah.
I literally, I wish I was being creative that often. I'm like a little jealous.
Yeah,
Maybe I
you're
need my kids
creative
to
with
get a little bit older like yours, and then I'll be able to get into that.
exactly. And you
Yeah.
have to be creative in a different way, right? With littles, it's more of the like, how do I entertain? And it's usually very physical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
everything's like about them. So I did a lot of crafts for a lot of years with the kids, and that was like my creative outlet. But it was funny because I would find stuff on Pinterest and I was like, cool, this will be like a great like 1 hour activity, and the kids will do it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's
I thought,
yeah, that's my experience with like oh like we just finished the winter break, so 2 weeks of, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this one activity, and then I think like this will take half the day, and it's like they don't want to do it. They're like, we'll go through this, we'll go through the motions just because you're making us, but we
yes,
are gonna do this for all of 2 seconds, and that's like, now what am I gonna do with you the rest of the day?
exactly.
It's like
Go
bath
go
time
check
is
the
always nice,
birds.
easy. We're gonna do math time. They'll be in the bath for 4 hours if I let them.
Yeah, nice. It's a bath day.
That's the
It's a bath
go-to.
day. Yeah,
It's a bad thing. That's funny.
So buckle up, William.
I know. Get ready.
Yes.
The
Well,
juggle is real. That's what I say now. My saying, the juggle is real. It's not the
I
struggle, but the
like
juggle
that.
is real.
Yes.
I like that. That's cool.
So, how did you were actually one of our only artists that's received your puzzle already? Everybody else, they're still
Oh,
getting to us to get out to them. So, how does it feel to see your art as a puzzle?
it is really surreal in all honesty. And it's one of those things I'm always like a slow processor with like good news, especially. So it's just taken a lot of, I don't know, time to process. And it still is like I pinched myself. I was actually telling one of my aunties about it and she's like, isn't that like the coolest thing? And I told her I had on my phone and I still do. I have like the web page open on Puzzles of Color.
Oh,
And I was like, oh my God, like thank you. That's like really awesome. So it's really cool. And it was great that my son, because he's really more of like the manipulative person in the family, but that he really jumped into it when we got it because it sat on the table for like about a day and I was kind of like, all right, let me psych myself up and make this like a really sacred space. And he was just like opening it, like just pulling the pieces out and charging, and then got me involved in it for like the second batch. So it was just a really beautiful thing. And it's been just great. And I'm really hoping for and looking forward to people enjoying it, just other families using it. It was great to hear that you and your kids did that as well. So it's just really nice. It's nice to be able to share art with people and that they get something out of it. So
Absolutely. Yeah, this was I was mentioning it's our first time printing a 48 piece puzzle. We have been doing hundreds and up in the past year. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to actually, we have the option to get either one. You can do 100 or 48 piece. And I was like, I'm going to order the 48 piece for my kids. And so because my little one, she's just 2, she just turned 2, and she always tries to grab the pieces and run off with them. And so I was like, let's get something a little bigger
big.
so that she can participate. And
And you can find them easier.
yeah, exactly. So
right.
we put the puzzle together and like it's just been sitting on our table for a few days now,
Oh,
and like
cool.
every now and then the kids will go over and they'll take it apart and put it back together, and
Nice.
it's really really fun, and they enjoy it. And for longest, my oldest was like, I don't like green. It's not my favorite color. That's it, it's not her favorite, that it does not exist to her. And so she said, well, I'm 5 now, so green is added to her list of favorite colors.
Oh,
Apparently the favorites just get added instead of changing.
okay.
So,
I like that.
so
Just not
green is
limiting
her
yourself.
color now. And so she really is enjoying the puzzle because there's so much green and pink and
Nice.
purple. All of her favorite colors are in that one.
Cool, cool, cool. That's awesome. That's really,
Yeah.
really cool.
But yeah, the pieces are the print actually turned out so vibrant, like so much prettier than I expected it to. So I'm really excited for everybody to get it and be able to enjoy it with their families.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Likewise. And I love even like the texture of the canvas, how it kind of shows through. Like I just love that
Yeah.
fill. It was really neat. So it was like kind of a special, like little addition I hadn't planned, but I was like, oh, I like it though.
Yeah. That's one thing that we really do try to keep true to our puzzles, like is the texture of the piece. Like I actually just did another puzzle from this collection, the Feel Your Feels puzzle, which is
I
the
like that.
abstract.
Yeah.
And that one, you can see like the brush strokes, and it actually it makes it easier to put the puzzle together because like
Yes.
I know that this piece is not going to go this direction because like the stroke is different, but you can see even like the like fold of the paper and all of those different things. But it just really makes it feel a lot more authentic to like to having an original piece.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And I love how you guys will even display the puzzles after they're like glued together and actually put them up as art. So I have a couple in mind already from you guys where I'm like, yes, I want to do that. So yeah, because the pieces are really, really beautiful. I love Moses. That's like one of the other ones from this collection, but that one's just really vibrant colors. And I just love the emotion behind that piece. It's really, really cool to see Harriet Tubman portrayed that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. William actually has already done it. We had a sample sent in. So I am really, really excited because the rest of them get here in a few days. And so I get to actually see it because I saw it because it got shipped to my house, but I haven't actually seen the final edition of it. So super excited to get it in person and work on it.
Nice.
All right, back to it, I guess. So, Marcene, what would be like your ultimate goal or like dream project to work on as an artist?
In all honesty, it'd be great to have my art in museums. Like I would love that to happen at some point. Especially seeing it with the collection right now on Puzzles of Color. Like it's just really cool to see the different pieces and how I kind of my piece fits in with it as well. I think the biggest one would really be to like get like a decent property and have like a little cafe slash artist studio so I could have people come in and do classes with kids. And I was a barista for quite a while when I was younger, and so it'd be cool to make coffee for people, and I like to cook. So just being able to put all this stuff together. We are trying to grow different plants and vegetables, like a little fruit stand. So I mean, like just all of that put together would be really, really cool.
I love that. That sounds like I can't wait to come visit.
Yes, please. Hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully
That
in
sounds
just
so
a few
fantastic.
years. That would be really cool.
that sounds super fun. I want some coffee.
You know, my daughters loved Moana and Lilo and Stitch and all the things. So I'm like, well, one day I'm going to bring you guys to Hawaii. So you'll have to get this thing going so that we can come visit you in Hawaii.
That would be awesome. Come by the little like cafe, make some art if you want, buy art on the wall. Like, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really
cool. Yeah. So when you're creating, when you're painting, what are you doing? Are you like, where are you in your house? Are you listening to music? Are you quiet? Like how set the scene for us?
It's usually like mommy's time, like during that, like, all right, everybody's needs are met. Everybody get a snack. Everybody's good. Husband's working. Okay. Everybody's good. So I'll usually I have like a small little desk in our kitchen. Actually, I do have space for a studio, but it's not quite set up enough. It's kind of open. We've got like open screen, so it's not really protected yet to the elements. So in the meantime, I've been in the kitchen. I'm at like my small desk, and I'm usually trying to paint slash watch a movie at the same time or listen to music. It's usually a movie, and just trying to get in some mommy time of getting stuff done. So I might paint for a little bit and then, plan out the next day for the kids as far as like what we're going to do activity wise, or think about like meals ahead of time. I'm always kind of like the multitasker with stuff. I would love to see if I could discipline myself to just paint and just focus on it for like a good chunk of time. I haven't really had too many of those experiences, but the summertime collards actually did, because there was like a time limit for the contest. And that one really just flowed. It's a small piece, so it was easier to do, and it just really flowed. And so I was able to do longer sessions for that one. So that was really nice. So I want to get more into that rhythm of really sitting down and investing time into.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. The same way as far as like when I'm working on like designing stuff, I might have like a Netflix show or a YouTube show on.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course music is definitely what I have music playing if I'm not doing one of the other two. But like I feel like sometimes I'm like I should just not multitask and just just work on the design or whatever I'm doing. So I try every once in a while I'll stop and just work solely on what I'm working on. But I do like to have the background of something show to watch and entertain myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I live my life in a multitasking world, which, similar, especially with young kids.
Yeah.
But I do find that like when I'm like, okay, I've got to like focus in here. Like, this is crazy. I am like, okay, I can't listen to people talking. I can't listen, like, I can't watch, I have the show in the background. I can't have a podcast. Like, I need to just like listen to some music, especially music that I already know. Like, like my go-to when I was a kid, which is kind of weird. When I was a kid, my go-to was like Anita Baker, because I was like, I could just listen to it and like, it's like just, it's soothing, but it's just, I know it already, and it's not a thought,
Yeah.
And so like, as I've gotten older, it's kind of, variety based on like the energy I'm looking for or whatever. But, but yeah, like I find that like, I can definitely do things while I'm watching TV or whatever, but like music has been like the way to like really focus in a little bit better.
I might have to try that then. Turn the TV off and put on the music.
Yeah. Especially like, if you got like, as like I said, a special mood you're trying to set, a certain type of like energy. Like if I'm like having a bad day, I might want to listen to a certain, like spiritual music, or I might want to listen to something that's just like really going to hype me up and like, whatever. So
I'm the opposite. If I'm having a bad day, I like to listen to sad music.
Well, I do that too every now and then.
Like to
I was
feel it
like,
all.
that's Spotify Wrapped. I was like, oh, that was a bad month. Like I could tell just based on my like what was my top artist that month? Yeah.
That's too funny.
Oh, that was, yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's totally
Yeah.
true. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. I've had moments like that where I was like, ooh, that was a rough year. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
But I try to do the opposite. But every now and then you're just like, I'm gonna lean into this. I'm just gonna feel it. I'm gonna feel all the
feel.
Mm-hmm. So it's called Vibin with. So what are some like music that you were listening to when you were making the Summertime Collards? I remember just listening to, or some music that inspires you in general, like some artist songs?
I can't think of anything specific for Summertime's Collards that I was listening to. I'm even trying to think of like what was probably playing in the background that I might have been watching. I honestly don't remember because I'm just like change every day with different moods and stuff. I do try when I watch something comedies just to kind of keep that like light feeling going on. So this past winter, I was watching a Medea Christmas like on repeat, and listening to the jokes and laughing at all the same ones over and over again. Like, but it's just my thing. I'll just kind of play it because it's comfortable. I know it, like you were talking about. So I kind of know what to expect. But it also will change kind of the energy from like that tense, like we just finished school and everybody's needs are met, to like just now I can cruise and chill. So that movie was like a really good one. Interestingly enough, like Bram Stoker's Dracula, I'm kind of like a nice like horror sci-fi buff. So that one is one like I've seen it 1,000 times. I love the visuals of it. It's really stylistically done. I took a class about theater as well as like cinema, like analysis. And so just some of that stuff, like kind of getting heady in that space. I think anything in all honesty to like tap out of the mom mode.
You got it. Yeah.
It's not about the kids, it's not about anybody, it's just me in a different headspace for a change. So that's why I think as well it'll fluctuate. Musically, I like listening to like Maverick City to kind of get into like that kind of good emotional space. Johnny Swim, like you guys might know them because they frequent like Texas, but Johnny Swim is really cool. I've been listening to them lately, and the most recent one is the Wicked soundtrack. So we just saw that. So I was listening to like Defy Gravity before I got on here. Let me get in that mood right now. So.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. Oh, so what is what was your highlight of 2024?
Ooh, how does it? A lot of, in all honesty, little wins. So I was doing like a reflection recently about it, and I still am working on it, but we had a lot going on this year. Some things were good, some things were not so good. We got to go visit our family. My husband's from Southern California, I'm from Northern. So we took the kids, went and saw my family for a few days, and then drove. And that was, I think, a 7-hour car ride from Northern to Southern California to see his family. And it was actually really beautiful. It was like so smooth and seamless. Like I came back and I was like, that probably won't ever happen again, but I'm so grateful that it happened this way this time. I don't expect it to ever happen so perfectly, but there weren't really any hiccups with it. And everybody was just really in a good space. So that was really cool. That was really beautiful. We started attending a local church that has just been really awesome. My family's been really into it because I'm kind of like the spiritual one in the hui, in the family. So it's just been really cool to see like my kids kind of get into it. My daughter started drama this year. So she's kind of starting to figure herself out as this, she already thinks of herself as a preteen, but I'm like, you're 11. That's not a teenager. Like it's not the same. Sorry. And then my son turned 8 and he literally went from like a little kid to like a boy, like in just like a day kind of thing. So it's really cool just to see them unfolding. And I think like the cherry on the top, I actually got to give a message at our church on the 29th of December. So right before the new year. And it just had to do with like how God loves everybody. And we really need to just receive that because it's such a life-changing thing. I'm sorry to be on like my little soapbox right now, but it's just been kind of something that has been like my truth. And that's what I want to share through my art too. It's just how beautiful life is and how much God just loves each of us individually.
I love that. Such a light. Those are all great wins. Like I'm like, what are my wins for the year? Which is so funny because we've been asking this question of like this is I believe the 5th interview we've done so far, and I haven't even thought about my wins yet. Personal. Mm-hmm. Business, of course, you always have to do those things, but yeah, those are really good wins. I like it.
You guys have had some great wins. Like I've been watching you guys on Instagram and trying to cheer you guys on every time. So you guys have been doing fantastic, and it's really cool to see you guys grow because I know like the background story of how you guys started, and so it's just really beautiful. And I think that's something too that I want to keep doing. Like I follow so many artists on Instagram just to support them, you know, and everybody's styles is different. And it's just really, it's cool to see people doing things that they love, like genuinely doing things that they love versus things that they feel they have to. So anytime that happens, I want to always support people in that way. So kudos to you guys. It's really, really amazing. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Well, that also reminds me, you were part of our Celebrate Your contest, correct?
I was, yeah. Okay. I tried entering that. Yep.
Yeah.
Was blessed in another way.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember our conversation we had about those, like, because we had a lot of conversations, like picking the finalists, and you were one of the top that didn't get selected at the time. But it was a fun experience. How would you describe your time doing the Celebration? Kind of like getting into it, or I guess not.
It was good. It was something like I got really excited about the topic. I got excited about like the fact that you guys are kind of like a grassroots like organization. And I was like, why not? Let me just try it out and see. And it just was such like a blessing. And I remember getting the email from Erica of like, you know, like, I'm sorry you weren't selected for this, and I was like, it was just really cool. And again, it's just really great to see so many artists coming out into the world and sharing themselves and their headspace in a visual medium. I'm such a visual person, so it's just really cool to see, and it's really cool to like support other people in that. So I always just try to do that. I try to consciously not be like a jealous artist of like, oh, they're so much better than me, or they're getting like success or whatever, because it's really not about that. For me, it's been a real lifestyle change of shifting gears and embracing things that bring me peace. So it's been really beautiful, and the contest actually kind of helped open that door even more for me. So that was really cool. It's been a blessing.
Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
You make me want to move to Hawaii. You feel so like therapized and
oh no, I have my days. Don't let it fool you. I have my days. My husband had my day yesterday. Like don't. I had a moment and I was like, that's right. Just gotta get back to the zen. But I mean, that's just a part of life too. And another thing out of 2024 and just this whole time, because I wasn't able to do like a lot of self-care when I was working full time and had littles and was just drowning in everything and always wanting to do more. And my students were really beautiful and I wanted to keep pushing it out, but it just wasn't sustainable. And it's interesting because people have spoken life into me painting and being an artist. And I was always like, no. That's not for me. I mean, that's cool, but like, it's not going to happen. But then when I started doing it and seeing like the change in our family of mommy's not so stressed out, there's more breathing room for everybody, the payoff has just been really great. So I don't want to go back to it. And it's really just therapeutic, even just putting some paint down, you know, putting the colors out and tapping into that side of myself.
That's beautiful. That's kind of like how I feel about doing a puzzle. Like I wouldn't say I'm not artistic at all. Like I actually did a lot of art when I was a kid, and I was like, there's a painting of a rose that I did when I was a kid that I did a pretty dang good job on that. Like if I wanted to, if I put the energy into it, I could be an artist again. But that I like doing puzzles because then somebody else already had the creative mindset, and I can just put it together. And literally this morning, my daughter was like, "Did you finish your puzzle?" And I was like, "Yes, I did." Because after I went to bed, I did my puzzle, and I've done it for like the last 2 nights. And I was like, I finished that thing in 2 days. I was really proud of myself, and it was like a great little, me time. And I had on my Housewives, and actually I'm rewatching The Good Wife, so I was
Okay.
I did a little marathon of that, and it was just a nice time to zen out and have some time alone.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, in all honesty, it's anything to get, even though if we have a screen on in the background, but anything to get us doing something other than like screen related stuff, especially my kids, I'm all for. So yeah, it's just really great what you guys do.
Awesome.
Yeah, love it. Thank you.
So do you have any plans for 2025? What's your goal? What do you got looking forward to?
Just in all honesty, making more art, getting consistent with it. I would like to enter more contests, excuse me, for like some of the like local galleries and things like that. Yeah, just making more art and making it even more of a lifestyle versus a hobby.
I love. Well, best of luck with that. I can't wait to see how you succeed and flourish and grow with your art, and I'm sure you're going to see like even just the growth from now to then with when you're doing it more frequently and stuff like that. So I'm super excited to see where that takes you.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully I can get my little art cafe going so you guys can come visit one day.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We will invite us to opening day. That'll be a perfect business expense.
There you go. Yeah, we just had to follow up with an artist. So
we'll put the posts out there and everything. We can make it happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely have some puzzles for sure out there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and for lending your beautiful work to the puzzles.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. It's definitely just been a blessing. And it's just great, again, to see how much you guys are growing and all the artists that you guys are exposing to the world, because we might not have ever been exposed in those ways. So it's really, really cool. It's really awesome that you guys do.
Thank you for joining us for an episode of Vibin With. Be sure to purchase a puzzle by this talented artist at puzzlesofcolor.com. You can also listen to a curated playlist of music to pair with this artist's puzzle on Spotify. Just search for Puzzles of Color.